Today we're continuing to read The Pilgrim's Progress. Then Mrs. Lightmind added as followeth, Come, put this kind of talk away. I was yesterday at Madam Wanton's, where we were as merry as the maids. For who do you think should be there but I and Mrs. Love the Flesh, and 3 or 4 more, with Mr. Lechery, Mrs. Filth, and some others. So there we had music and dancing, and what else was meet to fill up the pleasure. And I dare say my lady herself is an admirable well-bred gentlewoman, and Mr. Lechery is as pretty a fellow. Chapter 2. The Wicket Gate. By this time Christiana was got on her way, and Mercy went along with her. So as they went, her children being there also, Christiana began to discourse. And Mercy, said Christiana, I take this as an unexpected favor, that thou shouldest set forth out of doors with me, to accompany me a little in my way. Then said young Mercy, for she was but young, if I thought it would be a good purpose to go with you, I would never go near the town any more. Well, Mercy, said Christiana, cast in thy lot with me. I well know what will be the end of our pilgrimage. My husband is where he would not but be for all the gold in the Spanish mines, nor shalt thou be turned away, though thou goest but upon my invitation. The king who hath sent for me and my children is one that delighteth in mercy. Besides, if thou wilt, I will hire thee, and thou shalt go along with me as my servant. Yet we will have all things in common betwixt thee and me. Only go along with me. But how shall I be sure that I also shall be welcomed? Had I this hope but from one that can tell, I would have no hesitation at all, but would go, being helped by him that can help, though the way be never so tedious. Well, loving Mercy, I will tell thee what thou shalt do. Go with me to the wicket gate, and there I will further inquire for thee, and if there thou dost not meet with encouragement, I will be content that thou shalt return to thy place. I also will pay thee for thy kindness, which thou showest to me and my children, in the accompanying of us in our way as thou dost. Then will I go thither, and will take what shall follow, and the Lord grant that my lot may there fall, even as the King of Heaven shall have his heart upon me. Christiana was then glad at her heart, not only that she had a companion, but also for that she had prevailed with this poor maid to fall in love with her own salvation. So they went on together, and Mercy began to weep. Then said Christiana, Wherefore weepeth my sister so? Alas, said she, who can but lament, that shall but rightly consider what a state and condition my poor relations are in, that yet remain in our sinful town, and that which makes my grief the more heavy is, because they have no one to teach them, nor to tell them what is to come. Tenderness becometh pilgrims, and thou dost for thy friends, as my good Christian did for me when he left me. He mourned for that I would not heed nor regard him, but his Lord and ours did gather up his tears, and put them into his bottle, and now both I and thou, and these my sweet babes, are reaping the fruit and benefit of them. I hope, Mercy, that these tears of thine will not be lost. For the truth hath said that they that sow in tears shall reap in joy, in singing. And he that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. Then said Mercy, let the most blessed be my guide, if it be his blessed will, unto his gate, into his fold, up to his holy hill. And never let him suffer me to swerve or turn aside from his free grace and holy ways, whatever shall me betide. And let him gather them of mine that I have left behind. Lord, make them pray, they may be thine, with all their heart and mind. Now my old friend proceeded and said, but when Christiana came to the slough of despond, slough of despond, she began to be at a stand. For, said she, this is the place in which my dear husband had like to have been smothered with mud. She perceived also that, notwithstanding the command of the king to make this place for pilgrims good, yet it was rather worse than formerly. So I asked if that was true. Yes, said the old gentleman, too true, for many there be that pretend to be the king's labourers, and say they are for mending the king's highway, that bring dirt and dung instead of stones, and so mar instead of mending. Here Christiana therefore with her boys did make a stand. But said Mercy, come, let us venture, only let us be wary. Then they looked well to their steps, and made shift to get staggeringly over. Yet Christiana had to have been in, and that not once nor twice. Now they had no sooner got over, but they thought they heard words that said unto them, blessed is she that believeth, for there shall be a performance of those things which were told her from the Lord. Then they went on again, and said Mercy to Christiana, had I as good ground to hope for a loving reception at the wicket gate as you, I think no slough of despond would discourage me. Well, said the other, you know your trouble, and I know mine, and, good friend, we shall have enough evil before we come at our journey's end. For can it be imagined that the people that design to attain such excellent glories as we do, and that are so envied that happiness as we are, but that we shall meet with what fears, with what troubles and afflictions they can possibly assault us with that hate us. And now Mr. Sagacity left me to dream out my dream by myself. Wherefore, methought I saw Christiana and Mercy and the boys go all of them up to the gate, to which, when they were come, they betook themselves to a short debate about how they must manage their calling at the gate, and what should be said unto him that did open unto them. So it was concluded, since Christiana was the eldest, that she should knock for entrance, and that she should speak to him that did open for the rest. So Christiana began to knock, and as her poor husband did, she knocked and knocked again. But instead of any that answered, they all thought that they heard as if a dog came barking upon them. A dog, and a great one too, and this made the women and children afraid, nor durst they for a while to knock any more, for fear the mastiff should fly upon them. Now therefore they were they were greatly tumbled up and down in their minds, and knew not what to do. Knock they durst not, for fear the dog. Go back they durst not, for fear the keeper of the gate should espy them as they so went, and should be offended with them. At last they thought of knocking again, and knocked more loudly than they did at first. Then said the keeper of the gate, Who is there? So the dog left off to bark, and he opened unto them. And that's the end of the reading for today. Have a good day.